So you published a book on Amazon, but it's pretty disappointing because essentially it has almost disappeared into the black hole of books. I know the feeling. It happened to me on a couple of occasions until I figured out some things. And part of this journey of figuring out what actually could go wrong and why some books, explode and make really good money and why others just sort of disappear, there's definitely a blueprint. So when we miss out on this blueprint, we tend to not do well with our books, never mind getting to a bestseller tag, which is essentially the best case scenario because that means your book is super visible. So what are the three things that I always adhere to when I publish my best-selling book? And I'm going to go through this right now with you. If you're new to my channel, I'm Karina from the Royalty Coach. I've helped a lot of people create best-selling books, create lead magnets, connect them to their businesses so that their consulting businesses can use those books as an amazing asset. Okay, let's go through this. So the very first thing that I want you to think about is how do you position your book on Amazon so that Amazon knows exactly who the book is for? I call this packaging. Okay, the packaging involves a few different things, but it's essentially the right title, the right subtitle, a really good cover. Of course, it needs to be showing the solution on the image rather than the problem. Nobody wants to see a problem on the cover. We are already going to Amazon to solve our problems. We're not there to discover more problems. So focus on solutions, right? Provide them with an image that's going to make them think, so this is how I solve my problem. Okay, that's part of packaging. So a good cover, really good title, very good subtitle. Essentially, we want to create a book for Amazon. Okay, so yes, we're creating the book for the customer, but really, who's going to decide what's going to happen to this book and like who is Amazon going to show it to is going to be the algorithm. So you need to create your book essentially for the algorithm, right? This makes total sense. So packaging would be all of that, right? Cover, title, subtitle. The other thing that you need to think about is keywords. Now, Amazon goes to specific places to look for keywords, right? And people tend to take this for granted because everybody's heard the term keywords. Oh, I need keywords or looking for keywords. Yeah, keywords are really important. What are they? They are these words that a customer would actually put into the Amazon window to find the thing that they're looking for. So if they're looking for a vacuum cleaner, they might just put in vacuum cleaner. If they want a specific one, like an upright vacuum cleaner, those are the words that they will put into the Amazon window. So if I'm a customer and I'm looking for a book, I'm going to do the same thing. Like if I'm dealing with a chronic pain issue and it's specifically in my back, guess what I'm going to do? Chronic pain, back pain, right? Those are keywords. So imagine if your book doesn't really have that right in the title or right in the subtitle, because guess what? That's where the algorithm actually goes to look and dissect whether or not that book is for that client. And all it's doing, it's like a dating game. It's matching, right? Customer to book, book to customer. And it's doing that through keywords. So I generally will always put all the good keywords right into my title, my subtitle, the back end, A+ content. I will throw some in the description just for funsies, because it's important that the more good keywords that you have kind of scattered all around, your whole listing, the more Amazon is likely to figure out quickly, so this is who this book is for. And it's going to begin to do the matching for you. Okay. So the keywords is the second thing. So we've got the packaging, right? Which is really the packaging, right? It's how we show our best foot, right, on Amazon. This is what the client sees first. Then we've got the keywords. The last thing that people seem to always miss is a really good pre-launch. I'm not even going to talk about the launch, because when I say launch, people automatically think, well, that's just me going live. That's actually not what a launch is. Going live is just you pressing publish. that's not a launch. That's just publish, and now you're live on Amazon. I'm going to talk about the pre-launch. Okay, the pre-launch is the prep work for the launch. The pre-launch is where you begin to figure out, okay, who's going to leave me reviews? How many reviews can I get? How many people do I need to contact? You're kind of doing math backwards. If you've ever been in a sales job, or you know anyone that has, you probably heard of just working backwards. So trying to figure out, if I need 10 appointments, how many people do I need to call? This is the same exact thing. I want you to think of getting reviews that way, because working backwards really helps you figure out how many people you will actually reach out. So if you need 100 reviews and the going rate is 10%, 10% of people will leave your reviews. How many people do you need to contact? Simple math. 100 reviews, 10%. I need, ding, 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 1,000 people. I know, I can already feel your reaction. I already see, what? Yeah, those are real numbers. This is how Amazon works, right? So we work with real numbers. This is where a lot of the publishing of the books fail, because people have this idea that they're going to publish the book on Amazon. It's going to be amazing. They're going to press launch. Everybody that they told is going to buy it and leave reviews. And in fact, none of that happens. None. So you end up with 5 reviews. And when you end up with 5 reviews, your book has no chance of survival. This is where the pre-launch comes in. Okay, listen, I spent a month planning the pre-launch with my clients. It's not a joke, because there's promo sites that you need to book. There's the reviews that you need to figure out how, who, are you going to be using somebody? Are you going to be doing it yourself, DIY style? Like, what's the deal, right? It's actually super cool. I'm going to be publishing my next book at the end of, I want to say May. We'll see, in a couple of weeks. I'm going to put the link below if you want to follow along my journey of how I actually publish a best-selling book, everything that I go through, all my, thinking through the process. I will be recording videos as I go along. I'm just going to invite you on the journey. Listen, there's nothing better than to watch someone who has 23 plus bestsellers, who's done this over and over again. You get to watch me do it. Okay. Like, I love publishing. It's my thing. This is like something that I love now that I know what I'm doing, because let me tell you, it took years to get to this stage. So if you want to come along, watch my journey, feel free. I'll post the link. You can join. But those are the 3 things, okay, that I need you to think about. Packaging. How are you creating that beautiful package that your customer is going to go, boom, this is the book for me? 2, keywords. How is Amazon going to find you? And then how are they going to match you with your perfect client? Algorithm. And 3, how are you planning for your pre-launch? And then ultimately your launch. Once you've answered these 3 questions, my friend, then you're ready for the next step, which is actually going live, which is boom, pressing publish, and you go from there. Now it's just a waiting game, because everything's been done correctly. Now you just sit back, relax, have a cappuccino, and wait for Amazon to do the rest for you. All right, I'll see you in the next video. And if you want to watch me do my thing, the link's below. See you.